Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, at the very outset, let me express my most sincere gratitude to the organizers of the forum for the excellent arrangements and very interesting agenda, as well as for the outstanding hospitality that we've been enjoying from the first minutes of our arrival. Thank you very much for that. It's a great honor for me to be here in this panel and share the experience of Georgia. Thank you for the interest. I think everyone knows the location of the country, and I will directly move to the rankings. Why Georgia is so attractive for doing business. We are on the 16th place of easiness of doing business, and the country ranks in top 10 countries among, for instance, registering property, dealing with construction permits. It's very interesting for investors because it's very easy to start business in the country. We rank 7th, and getting credits is also facilitated very much. I'd like to outline some of the key reforms that change country forever, so to say. Georgia enjoys free market economy and business-friendly environment. Business is regulated. Eradication of corruption is an important factor. Power is decentralized. Public services are improved. Infrastructure has changed radically. We have in energy security and sufficiency. Policy reform and freedom of media is very important factors. Here are some of key selling points of the country. Though Georgia is small in territory, it's around 70,000 square meters. One can find Caucasus Mountains, Black Sea coastline, curative climate and mineral waters, national parks, UNESCO heritage sites, ancient history, diverse culture and traditions, delicious cuisine, rich wine, but last but not least is our hospitality. Some of the things is Georgia is birthplace of first European civilization. Remains of first hominids were found in the country in 1.8 million old hominid who traveled from Africa to Europe, so to say that it was the first tourist who traveled from Africa to Europe. Georgia has the highest mountains in Europe. It's the birthplace of wine. Wine was cultivated here as old as 8,000 years ago. It's one of the oldest Christian country. Georgian language is unique as there are 14 alphabets in the world, as you know, and Georgian is among them. So it was a short outline of country's key attractions, and I directly move to key figures. Share of exports of services in Georgia is around 40% accounted by tourism. The country's GDP, the share of tourism in country GDP is around 7%. Georgia tourism industry has generated around 1 billion last year from international tourism, and FDI in hospitality sector was last year 20 million. Growth is 17%. The country was ranked in sixth among the 41 destinations to visit by New York Times, and Tbilisi was deemed as the safest capital to visit after comparative Lisbon, for instance, or Vienna. Mr. Druzengo gave a very good outline of tourism in the country with key figures. Last year we hosted around 3 million foreign visitors, and this year we expect more than 3.37 million travelers. Growth is around 56% by 9 months of this year. And top 10 countries visiting Georgia is Turkey, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Russia. It used to be Ukraine on the 5th place, but now it's Iran. Ukraine is on the 6th place. And as regards the purpose of travel, now why do travelers come to Georgia? 40% of them come for leisure, and then comes visiting friends and relatives. It's 25%, and 8% is for business. As regards expenditures, around 600 is spent by those who come for business purposes, and then comes leisure travelers who spend around 400, and the less is by friends and relatives, visitors who spend around 260. What are main directions of our work? What is it that we do that promote tourism in Georgia and attract more travelers? According to World Economic Forum, supportive regulatory environment, transport and tourism infrastructure, together with nurturing human resources, is present the fundamentals for travel and tourism competitiveness. Georgia has done in the past a lot in these directions and will continue to work actively. The importance of investment could not be underestimated since it represents a potent tool for improvements in quality, competitiveness and productivity. The government of Georgia offers generous incentives to investors. For instance, we have established free tourist zones on Black Sea coastline. We have a total potential of 35 hotels in those zones, and investors are offered free land with respect to infrastructure and hotel master plan for free. They are exempt from profit and property taxes for 15 years, and casino licenses are gifted if a hotel with a capacity of over 80 rooms is built. So other main directions are sustaining domestic tourism growth in the period of economic recession. Placing particular emphasis on domestic tourism can be particularly lucrative. It's a well-known fact that domestic tourists generate around 10 times more arrivals than international tourism. Around 70% of tourist direct global GDP contribution is generated by domestic travelers. Product diversification. Every country knows that offering travelers different kind of tourist product is of paramount significance. And of course, Georgia has worked in these directions, and we offer different kind of tourist products. For instance, it's wine, adventure tourism, ecotourism, and in most recent period, we have focused on MICE tourism. We've developed new resorts and also given a new lease of life to existing destinations through large-scale infrastructural projects. As you all know, targeting new market is of great significance, and emerging markets, BRICS countries, deserve particular attention. They, since they account for a quarter of world's area and more than 40% of world's population live in these four countries as Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Georgia has recently obtained approved destination in status from China. It's of great importance for the country, as you know, that Chinese travelers require special visa to travel to different countries, and the country should be on the list of approved destination status list, so that a group of Chinese travelers can travel to your country. So I think Ukraine, as far as I know, is working in that direction, and since Chinese travelers to travel to a couple of destinations when they go to long-haul destinations, it's very important that many countries in the region have this status. So when they arrive to Georgia, for instance, they can go to Azerbaijan, Armenia, Ukraine. So it's more interesting for them to travel in this region. Of course, we've talked about travel facilitation, and importance of this factor could not be stressed more. Georgia has a visa-free regime with around 100 countries, and those who are not obtaining visa in their countries can enter country obtaining visa on the border. And the government of Georgia is also discussing the possibility of further relaxation of visa procedures for citizens of certain countries who hold visa by third country. For instance, we are thinking of facilitating visa for Indian citizens who hold visa for UK or USA, they can come to Georgia without visa. It's a good option as well. And the last but not least is the issue of sustainability. Preserving environment and ensuring sustainable use of resources will not benefit future generations, but also will make your tourist destinations more attractive. Thus, cooperation of government and industry to harness tourism economic benefits while ensuring sustainability of ecosystems and communities which support tourism are of paramount significance. Of course, we all work highly on promotion, and I don't want to focus much on that because we all participate in travel fairs. We undertake large promotion campaigns on main TV channels, and also social media gaining importance in promotion. And I think we are all starting to make use of this huge resource. And I won't spend more time on that. And I'd like to thank you for your interest and attention towards Georgia and for your appreciation of growth of tourism in our country. And we're open to cooperation, and these kind of forums create a wonderful platform for our cooperation and discussing the possibility for growth for all of us. Thank you.